Hello, everybody. Welcome to this presentation, bringing to you the European Scout Foundation and its Friends of Scouting in Europe program. First of all, I want to remind you that there is a hashtag FOSE UK, and that will be able to link anything you want to say about Friends of Scouting in Europe, the European Scout Foundation, across all of social media. So please use it. It means that people will know we're being active. The foundation was set up about 50 years ago to further the aims of Scouting in Europe, to share expertise, to mobilise resources, and to facilitate solidarity between the NSOs, the National Scout Organisations in Europe. As members of the Scout Association, and at this point I want to say I'm very happy to be back in the UK and to be a member of the Scout Association, having spent 15 years in Europe as the regional director. But members of the Scout Association have the capacity to become a part of the Friends of Scouting in Europe by subscribing individually, corporately, maybe as a Scout group, each year, or as a life member. This is a great way of encouraging solidarity with our brothers and sisters throughout the region. Many associations are in difficult circumstances. I know that we can say in the UK we are in difficult circumstances, but if we look at the background of our organisation, we have good national youth policies, we have good support, and we can rely upon a good level of participation by our parents and friends, etc. But that's not the same across all of Europe. And this is the reason why the Friends of Scouting in Europe project is so important. And quite often there are legacies from previous times whenever Scouting was not valued. So we want to be able to help others as good Scouts. We can improve their position through supporting the European Scout Foundation, and I would encourage you to visit the Foundation's website and see what's on offer. And that's at europeanscoutfoundation.com. We know that there are challenges facing all of Scouting. We believe that we in the UK can show support throughout our region, as we have done since the inception of the movement. Thank you for considering this continuity of support. I'm now happy to introduce my friend, Steve Morton, who can share with us feedback on a supported project of the Foundation based in Serbia. Steve.
Thank you, David. I'm going to highlight a project which was completed last winter, 2019-2020, which is based in southeast of Serbia. Bela Planka is a town, one of the poorest towns in Europe, providing scouting to over 100 young people from the town, and there's quite a few surrounding villages as well. The group organises a number of events, both for Scouts nationally and community events in the town, and also plays host to quite a few local community groups, such as language school, which just wouldn't be available in that sort of community otherwise. And they very much are the go-to people. When they've had flooding in a few years ago, they were the main responders alongside the Red Cross. So we have a video to share with you, and I will just introduce you to more about the project as we run through the video. So enjoy watching it. So half of the building was donated to the council by the council to the Scout group some years ago, and because it was surplus to their needs. The group developed this building into a Scout headquarters and added a campsite above it. And also by the side there's a river, and they've added activities into that, as you can see there. 12 years ago, they acquired the remaining half of the building and developed that into Scout headquarters. But the 70-year-old roof has decayed, as you can see, leaking, starting to collapse, and damaging the inside of the building. The project objectives were as follows: preserve one of the organisations with the longest tradition in Bellaplanca, stopping further destruction of the building, creating new opportunities for further work of the local Scout group, and making facilities for further non-formal education of Scouts and the wider community. The project consisted of 8 phases. Planning. The project was managed by the Scouts using specialist technical knowledge of the contractor, and the aim was to use the Scouts as much as possible. The demolition and disassembling was carried out by the volunteers, again, and with some advice from the expert contractor. And this has included the appropriate disposal of all the materials. The carpentry work was carried out by the contractor, but assisted by the leaders in lots of the lifting work. And the roofing work itself was carried out by the contractors, but again, leaders and Scouts helped move the tiles to the roof. As you can see there, the winter was coming in, and it was vital they got the work done before the snow really fell, where 2 foot of snow could have made the roof entirely collapse. The guttering was then added at the next stage, and this was again led by the contractors, but with the Scouts helping lift up the gutters, bring up to the roof and providing support. One of the final obvious bits of work that carried place was the masonry and the painting. Once the roof was on, it was time to replace the ceiling inside the building. That was replaced and also painted. The contractors carried out the actual work on the ceiling, whilst the Scouts did the painting. And then the final piece of construction work was the insulation, laying insulation between the ceiling and the roof to ensure that they can actually hold meetings inside without freezing in the winter. And of course, being Serbian, they had to have a party to celebrate at the end. That took place, a good celebration of all the hard work and the way that they can now contribute to the local community. And then an evaluation, which is underway. So how much did it all cost? The finances were approximately €11,500 for the entire roof. 10% of that was raised by the group, by fundraising. Remember, this is one of the poorest parts of Europe. And 20% was supported by the local government, recognising that the headquarters is used by them. The remainder came from the Friends of Scouting Europe. And work continues to improve the inside of the building and the surrounding land. But I'm sure you'll agree, it looks a lot better. It's far safer, and will continue to enable the group to provide scouting and other community activities for hopefully at least another 70 years. I know it'll be well looked after, because that is the way that they are in Bellaplanca, and because they have to have personal ownership due to the fact that they were involved in its actual construction. So that is the roof project. There are many other projects available, many other projects currently being considered.